It's time to fill up the pantry. Hey everyone, welcome to Homestead Corner. I'm Ginny, and today I have got a $25 budget stock up from the Dollar Tree. We want to keep those pantries as full as possible right now, and doing it on the best budget that we have is all we can do. So we want to make sure that we are paying attention to what's in our pantries and what kind of things we need. Things are just so crazy out there and expensive. We need to make sure that we're keeping our food stores and pantries stocked to the brim, so we've at least got that to fall back on. When something goes crazy in your life, and boy, have things been going crazy in ours, I'll tell you that. Having that pantry has really been so helpful and wonderful, so we can fall back on that when we need it. And so let's just jump right in and see what we got for $25. So the first thing I grabbed was a couple bags of the quick oats. We really love these. They are non-GMO. We love to use them for our instant oatmeal packs that we make in the little 8-ounce mason jars. I have been using quite a bit of this lately to make honey and oat bread in our bread machine. I just grind it up. I can make some oat flour and have little bits of oatmeal in there. So they're not too big and chunky, but it has that nice honey and oat flavor. I just love that. So I grabbed 2 more of these, and that's all they had in the store. Our store doesn't carry a ton of them, but when they have them, it's usually just a couple bags. But I grab as much as I can because $1.25 really is a good deal for a pound of oatmeal. And the next thing I grabbed was just a couple boxes of spaghetti. I really like the Columbia brand, and it is really affordable. You get 20 ounces for $1.25. You could still get the 16-ounce boxes at a lot of other stores for $1, but these are the 20 ounces, and we use a little bit more than a pound sometimes, depending on what we're making for a meal. So this size works really well for our family of 6, and it's a good deal. So we like that as well. And then I also grabbed a pack of parchment paper. I love parchment paper. It really helps with cleanup. And I never have burned cookies with these. Without it, I have definitely burned a lot of cookies. But they are great if I'm baking or anything like that. It really helps with cleanup, and it does help so things don't burn so easily on the pan. And then, let's see, I also grabbed a white grape strawberry, one of these little healthy balance. These are low carb. They don't have much sugar in them, but my kids really like those. So I like to keep them on the shelf because they are not horribly sugary like a lot of other juices. And then I grabbed an extra bag of lentils. I don't think you can have too many lentils in your house. Like dry beans, you can can them up and have them ready to go on the shelf, or these cook really fast. You don't even have to can these really. They cook in about 15-20 minutes, just like your rice or anything like that, but it gives you the same protein as a bean. So these are wonderful. And like beans, they don't have a lot of flavor, so you can doctor them up in a million different ways. And I like to keep some just cooked up in the fridge. You can toss them in salads or pretty much anything, any kind of soups or anything like that. And it just takes on the flavor that you're cooking it with and boosts the protein up. So that's always a good thing when you can do that affordably. The next thing I grabbed were a couple of these staircase lights. These are wonderful. I have never seen these little, they have little hooks on the back. You hang them up on the side of your staircases, you know, kind of, well, not like that, but one on each stair just to light the pathway, which is nice. Any kind of outdoor solar lighting, we love to have that. And you could sit these right in the window with the little screen on your windowsill facing outside, and then you've got the light right inside. It'll come right on. The next thing I grabbed was just a couple packs of honey roasted peanuts. We love having nuts and little snacky things in the pantry. These are great to save a ton of money when you go out. We keep a basket of snacks in there just for when we're going out. We can grab a couple snacks. We don't have to buy food out. And, you know, I'll make up my iced coffee before I leave, grab a couple snacks, and if I'm gone for the day, I've got something to eat that's not too horrible. Regular peanuts would probably be better, but I love the honey roasted, so I like to keep them in the pantry. The next thing I grabbed was a pack of the Hormel pepperonis. We use these in our little pizza roll-ups that we make. They're really simple and easy. These are super affordable. I did notice last time I went to Dollar General, they were $2 a box, so $1.25 is now again the better price. It switches back and forth, so definitely pay attention to your stores. They were $1 at Dollar General for a long time, but they have jumped way up to $2 now. So I like to just keep an eye on those prices so we can make sure we're getting the best deal we can, or we don't have Dollar General all that close, so sometimes I'll just grab it at the Dollar Tree even though it's a few cents more, so I don't have to make a trip. Dollar General is at least 20 miles from here, so and that's like on the way to the city, and we don't go that way that often, so Dollar Tree is a lot easier for us, and sometimes, you know, a few cents is okay if it's saving a bunch of gas. The next thing I grabbed was just a couple cans of Pears. They did have fruit cocktail this time, but I don't really love fruit cocktail. It's not something that we eat that much, so I didn't get any of those. And they had pineapple also for $1.25, but I haven't had that brand, so I wasn't sure of it. And I still have quite a bit of the brand that we do like, so I am probably going to try one of those cans, but I wasn't sure of it today, so I just went with the Pears because we know we love those. The next thing I grabbed was just a couple cans of beef broth. These are wonderful to help add nutrition and flavor to your meals. If I am making a stir fry with beef, I will use beef broth to cook the rice in. Or if I'm doing something with chicken and I want to cook noodles or rice, I will use chicken broth. So we grabbed a couple cans of the beef broth, and we did also grab a couple cans of the chicken broth as well. I normally like to grab the low sodium ones because these are a little bit salty, but if I'm using something that's really salty like this, I do not add any salt when I'm cooking. It's got plenty in there for those things. So we try to alter the recipe depending on what we're using for ingredients. The next thing, well, you know, I gotta have my matches. I wanna make sure I have plenty. I opened a container the other day and I want to make sure that my matches are filled up. I love the wooden matches because they're not gonna go bad on you. As long as you're keeping them dry, they're going to be fine forever. Lighters are also great, but they do run out. That gas will dissipate if you're not using it, if it sits too long, and then when you go to use it, it just won't work. So these are my choice, definitely, for in our emergency stuff. I want to make sure we've got what we need, and if an emergency happens, you need matches and some kind of flame for all sorts of stuff. Cooking, heating water, bathing, anything, light, everything you need. You're going to need lots of ways to light fires, so we love to keep a big stash of wooden matches, so that way we're covered. Even for a really long time, we'll be covered. And the last thing I grabbed was just a small pack of little trash bags because we have to buy our trash bags now. Our state banned them a couple of years ago, those little plastic bags that you get at the store. I love those. Never bought trash bags for the small cans, but now we have to. So I get those at the Dollar Tree because they are the cheapest by far. And I don't need really strong ones for the bathroom. It's just a little teeny can. So it's all good. It works out great. And that is it for my stock up. It's not huge, but $25. You can't get a whole lot nowadays for $25. You want to get as much as you can in that pantry and make sure you have the things that you use and things for emergency situations because you just never know. Crazy stuff happens all the time. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope to see you next time. Bye.